Hello friends, welcome to UPSC Logics and my name is Siddharth and today I am going to discuss the origin of the Surat split that occurred in 1907. So it was in the Congress session that happened on December 26, 1907 that the Congress was divided into moderates and the extremists, and in this video we shall have a look at the shortcoming of the moderates, then we shall have a look at the British policy of divide and rule, and number 3 we shall have a look at the growing differences between the moderates and the extremists that led to this split. So let us begin this video. Let us have a look at the shortcomings of the moderates, and by 1907 they had exhausted their historical role. So their achievements had been impressive since they were able to expose the British exploitative theory through Dadabhai Naoroji's drain of wealth theory, and they were able to get the Indian Councils Act of 1892 passed. Moreover, at the time when they had started the movement, or they had started as moderates, there was a really low level of political consciousness that existed in India. So they had to face great many difficulties, but they had too many failures as well. So what were the failures? Number one was that they lacked faith in the common man. And their whole movement or whatever they were doing was limited to the educated class. So it was the educated class which they targeted, and because of which that of these reasons they were not able to gain any traction among the locals or the common people. So the propaganda which they actually tried to sell did not really impress the common man, or it did not even reach the common man. They did not organize any all India campaigns, and when they actually tried to start the Swadeshi movement and the Swadeshi and boycott movement really took off, the leadership had changed from the moderates to the extremists. So their whole politics was based on an assumption that they could persuade the rulers to bring in about the economic and the political reforms, and the only achievement which we can say was the Councils Act of 1892. So the Britishers also, instead of praising them for their moderation, treated them with contempt. Now the British were very smart when it came to the policy of divide and rule, and it was always that they offered something to pacify the Indians. So Lord Minto, who was the Viceroy, and John Morley, who was the Secretary of State, offered fresh reforms in the legislative councils in the year 1906. So they called the moderates for discussions over the reforms, and the moderates agreed to cooperate with the British. And this was done at a time when the mass Swadeshi movement was still on, and the people all over India were taking part in this particular movement. So we have seen that, if we have seen the Swadeshi video that I made, we have seen that the price of the British cloth fell from 5 to 15 times between September 1904 to 1905. So you can imagine that how low the demand of British cloth had gone at that point of time, and people were boycotting British goods left, right, and center, and they were taking out Prabhat ferries, singing Vande Mataram. So the movement was really gaining momentum. And at this point of time, the moderates decided that they were going to discuss some small reforms in the Legislative Council with the British. So this resulted in the extremists really getting fed up with the moderate behavior, that why the moderates had to go to the British for every little thing and discuss every offer which the British made to them. So this resulted in a total split in the ranks of the Congress, where the extremists thought that the moderates were nothing but bootlicking the British. Now there were growing differences between the moderates and the extremists. So there was a great deal of debate that happened between the moderates and the extremists between 1905 to 1907. And we have seen that in 1906, when Lord Minto and Lord Morley offered a fresh bait of reforms, the moderates had gone and really discussed those reforms in the legislative councils at the peak of the Swadeshi movement. So the extremists also wanted the whole movement that was going on in during the partition of Bengal to be extended to whole of India. And they did not just want the boycott of foreign cloth or foreign goods, but they wanted a boycott of total ties with the colonial rulers, and the moderates were against it. So the matters came to head in the Calcutta session of the Congress in 1906 over the question of presidentship. Now the moderates wanted their leader to win and the extremists wanted their leader to be chosen. And this particular session, the split was avoided by choosing Dadabhai Naroji, who was a well-respected senior in the Congress party. So a compromise was made on the subjects of swadeshi, boycott, national education and self-government, and these resolutions were passed. But throughout 1907, till the end of 1907 when the Surat split happened on 26th of December 1907, there were fights going on between the moderates and the extremists about the different interpretations of the resolution that was passed on the four subjects of Swadeshi, boycott, national education, and self government. And by this time, both the moderates and the extremists had started thinking of each other as their biggest enemy. So friends, this brings us to the end of this video on the origin of the Surat split, and in the next video we shall have a look at the course of the Surat split. So thank you so much for watching, and if you are watching it for the first time and have enjoyed the video, do like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get the latest notifications from UPSC Logics. Thank you so much for watching, and Jai Hind.